Um, and then yeah, so moving on to the other fights on the card, I guess the kind of co-main and main event of the prelims. We've got Tanner Bose versus Alir Latifi in the heavyweight division. Bose is actually the number one ranked Canadian fighter currently, Canadian heavyweight, I should say. Sorry, he is actually higher ranked than what's his name, the guy that just won the ONE FC title. I can't remember. Singh Bulhar Singh. He's actually higher ranked than Bulhar Singh, even though Bulhar has the title. Recently just lost to Arlovsky. Before that was on 2-fight win streak. Before that lost to Cyril Gaines. 19-7 record. He's lost to Tim Hogue before he was in the UFC. Then beat Tim Hogue. Tim Hogue was at one point probably the best Canadian heavyweight of all time. So to kind of beat him and in a way take that title from him. Will he be able to deal with Alir Latifi though? Bose is definitely the bigger guy. Latifi's a really small heavyweight. He moved up from light heavyweight, and he was honestly a pretty small light heavyweight. I don't know why he doesn't move down a division. I honestly don't know why they have him at heavyweight now. I think it's just kind of where he ended up somehow. He's on a 3-fight losing streak, 2 of those at light heavyweight, and just returned to heavyweight against Derek Lewis. I don't know. Latifi's just so small. This is probably, in my opinion, probably the most one-sided fight on the card. I think Bose is just gonna go out there and just, beat him up and smash him. I don't like Latifi at heavyweight. I think he's too small for it. He needs to move back down to. Just should honestly probably go down to middleweight. Like he's an undersized. He's undersized to light heavyweight. He shouldn't be fighting at heavyweight. And then moving on to the women's flyweight division, Montana De La Rosa versus Ariana Lipski. So De La Rosa, the American, 26 years old, 5'7", 68-inch reach, 11-6 record, coming off a majority draw against Biona da Silva. Before that, a loss to Viviana Araujo, win against Mara Romero Barella, and then a loss against Adriana Lee, and then 3 wins in a row. So overall, she has a record of 4-2-1 in the UFC. And I should probably say, Silva was actually winning that fight according to the judges, but she did lose 1 point for grabbing the fence. So had she not grabbed that fence, Silva probably would have won that fight. But anyway, moving on. Pretty impressive record. Even outside the UFC, she lost to Cavallo and Mackenzie Dern, so she lost to 2 top girls. And then her first 2 fights, which I'm guessing, she was just inexperienced at the time, lost to Montano on The Ultimate Fighter, who obviously went on to win the Ultimate Fighter and then go on to be a champion. So pretty impressive record. Even though she does have some loss, and she's only really fought top girls other than those first 2 fights she had, which, you can really chalk up to inexperience. On the other side, we got Ariana Lipski, the Brazilian, 5'6", 67-inch reach, Muay Thai background, black belt in Muay Thai, purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, 13-6 record, recently coming off a loss against Antonio Shevchenko, Valentina's little sister, the former KSW flyweight women's champion. She was actually on The Ultimate Fighter. What was the season? She was on one of the Ultimate Fighter seasons, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm mixing her up with another girl. I must be. Yeah, I think I'm mixing her up with another girl. But anyway, 13-6 record. She beats up some girl. It seems like every time she gets a decent name opponent, she can't really get past them. The KSW title, though, is pretty impressive. KSW does have some pretty deep divisions. They produce a lot of talent out of Poland. Poland's probably one of the per capita top MMA producers in the world. It's a pretty even fight, honestly. I'm going to go with Lipski just because she's a little bit younger, I believe. She actually might be, she's older by 1 year. These girls are both young. This is a tough one. Yeah, I'm gonna. I don't know. This one's so even. Lipsky's got a slightly better record, but she's also arguably faced lower competition. Although, to be fair, a lot of the reason these girls that De La Rosa beat up are famous is just because they're hot. It's not like Rachel Osovich. It's not like she's a top level girl. That's why she's famous. She's like, nobody would know her name if she wasn't hot as hell. She's got a 4-6 MMA record. So yeah, I guess she really hasn't been beating higher competition. She's just been beating hotter competition. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Ariana Lipski. Not too confident in that choice. I really think this is going to be a good scrap. The fight could go either way, but I'm going to lean towards Lipski on this one. And then first fight on the main card: Tom Breeze versus Antonio Arroyo in the middleweight division. So Breeze, 6'3", 73-inch reach, pretty tall for the division. Again, another guy with a short reach. It's kind of weird. This guy's only got a 6'1" reach, even though he's 6'3". Anyway, 29 years old, 12-3 record, 3-3 in his last six. 5-3 overall in the UFC. Former Bama welterweight champion, so obviously a guy that used to fight at 170 pounds is now fighting at 185, and he will be taking on the Brazilian Antonio Arroyo, 6 foot tall, 31 years old, 9-4 record, 2-2 in the UFC, and 2-2 in his last 4. Yeah, this one, I'm going to have to go with Breeze on this one. I think this one's kind of a get Arroyo the fuck out of here fight. I think the reason they put this on the main card is because they're trying to get some English stars again, with Bisping just having retired, and Till not looking like he really has a chance at winning the title because he's lost to, I believe, both of the champions in 170 and 185 right now. You really need to start getting some of those other guys from England up into the top of the ranks. Oh, excuse me. So that you have, you have these guys that the Brits want to watch. So yeah, I think Breeze is going to take that one. I think it's going to be, pretty one-sided fight. One of the, few one-sided fights, kind of similar to the Bose versus Latifi fight, honestly. But that's it for today. Like, comment, subscribe, and tomorrow we'll break down the remainder of the fights except for the main and co-main event. Save that for the